So intriguing.
Yeah.
Do you believe in vampires?
Why do you ask?
You just said that you're very knowledgeable about vampires for one, and also you happen to believe that one of the students here at OHS is a vampire, so I'm just a little curious.
I believe that it would be a possibility for them to exist, and if one were to be at our school, it would be her.
Why are your toes always out?
In all honesty, it is for questions like this that happen. To be entirely honest, it is just to see people's reaction.
Toes out on a Tuesday, Willow Miles out here. And do your little piggies ever get cold?
Yes.
Then why? Why do you do this to yourself?
Because it's fun.
Okay. So what do you do? What do you do?
Just in general?
Yeah.
Like in pastime?
Just anything. What do you do?
I daydream. I swim. I play video games. I daydream more. I sleep. I eat. I daydream some more. Then I actually dream. And then I daydream after I dream. That's about the majority. Oh, school. Forgot about school.
Yeah, we don't care about that one.
Yeah, it's
So,
optional.
what about, like, I guess school stuff? Like, what do you do at school?
I am in both tabletop and anime club. I am also in band, as you know.
Yeah, you're a nasty little band freak, aren't you? A little low brass boy, aren't you?
I'm not low brass.
You count.
I'm Barry Sax. I'm like everything.
I mean, you're low brass, technically.
Well, they put me in this section, but I'm not actually low brass. I'm a Barry Sax. I get both from both worlds. Or the best from both worlds.
I don't think there's a best of either of those worlds, honestly. Like, woodwinds and low brass.
That is true. But you should consider the Barry Sax the rare exception.
So, I just noticed that you have a little bug on your mask right there. And yeah, so you have mentioned that you are a little bit into ecology, actually, to me one time. So
I am.
Yeah, tell me about some bugs.
About some bugs?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of the Mantis Shrimp?
No.
It's not a bug, it's a crustacean. Actually, it's an isopod, but it's pretty close. It's a Mantis Shrimp, so it's essentially a shrimp about yay long. Actually, probably about the size of the microphone. But you'll normally end up seeing them being the flamingo shrimp. It's the flamingo mantis shrimp. They're most colorful. They have compound eyes, as most crustaceans and insects do. They also have 3 sets of eyes on each eyeball. So we have one eye
on each eyeball.
Yes, we have an eye on our eyeball. We see one image from our eyeball aside from their compound eyes.
Okay.
So we are, I forgot what it was,
probably something with like because
something like that. It essentially means we see 2 images.
Yeah.
They have 3 on each eye. They see 6 images of the same thing.
So we're like binocular, they're hexocular.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, I told you to tell me about bugs.
Bugs?
Yeah, you didn't tell me about bugs.
Bugs. I got one for you.
Okay, what's
All
a
right,
bug?
have you seen Deadpool? The movie, I believe. I think it's the first one. Have you seen the scene on the train where it's the one guy in Deadpool on a train and he shoots a bunch of bullets at him and he blocks it with his sword?
Sure.
Yeah?
I have,
There's, there is a site that I end up looking up a lot called Because Science. He essentially does all this, like, fictional research and then applies it to science to see if it would be capable. Like, what would happen if you actually stabbed someone with a lightsaber? Based on what we're capable of seeing them, if you stab someone with a lightsaber, they would explode.
Okay, may I ask what this has to do with bugs?
I'm getting to it.
Okay.
It was calculated how fast the person's reaction would need to be able to block 9mm bullets at the range it was. It was said it was 0.05 seconds. That's how fast his brain would have to react and then make the motion.
Okay.
Fruit flies have a reaction time of 0.05 seconds.
So they could block bullets if they were capable of holding a sword.
If they were capable of holding a sword, they could block bullets.
Well, that's interesting knowledge, actually. Do you have any hidden talents?
That's hard. Okay. So, so you say hidden talents like I'm exceptionally good at one thing kind of thing?
I mean,
like,
yeah, I can pogo stick with no hands. I'd consider
really?
that a hidden talent. Yeah, see, you didn't know that.
That's actually pretty cool.
It's very obscure, but...
Yeah. I mean, how often do people see you with a pogo stick?
You don't want to know.
Now I kind of do want to know.
Well, I'm interviewing you, Willow, so you won't. Anyway, do you have any of those hidden talents, like anything?
Just anything.
Anything.
I don't know if this would really be considered that, but I don't know, exceptionally good at daydreaming, if that's even actually a thing. In other words, it could take a little amount of time for me to get sidetracked and then to end up creating an entire world with a storyline and a plot.
That sounds like a mental illness, but okay.
Alright, I have a mental illness.
Yeah, my hidden talent is mental illness. So, Team Edward or Team Jacob?
What?
Team Edward or Team Jacob?
I'm confused.
Wow, and I thought you were a vampire fan. Just pick one, and we'll see if you're right.
Edward.
Well, that's okay. Sometimes everyone has their flaws. Anyway,
I still don't know what you're referring to.
You ever watch Twilight?
I have.
That.
Names don't help me.
Okay, Edward Taylor is the weird one, and then Jacob's the real. Sorry, Taylor is Jacob. Edward, they're calling him a great vampire. I don't know who's that. He's a vampire. And everything like when you see Edward Jacob, it's higher. So you just say Edward's higher.
Okay.
Do you stand by that statement?
No, they're both equally hot.
You know, I appreciate your honesty about that, Willow. So it has been noted in, I guess, band videos that you are in fact able to speak to trees.
Yeah.
So what do the trees tell you? What little secrets do they hold?
It's kind of hard. It's not... Okay, so they don't really speak in the kind of language we do. They kind of give off, like, emotions, if that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
So if you were to ask a tree a question on, like, how's he feeling today, you won't get a word, you'll get a feeling.
I mean, which I guess is pretty efficient, seeing as you just asked how it was feeling. So would you be able to ask this tree a question? We're doing an interview within an interview, getting kind of meta. But if you ask this tree a question, what would it say or feel?
Just, I don't know. What's the question?
How do you feel about Team Edward?
Doesn't care.
I guess it hasn't seen Twilight. How do you feel knowing that you are planted at a high school?
Also doesn't care.
Okay. How does it feel about the winter times? None of its leaves are here.
Tired.
Yeah. Aren't we all? It's called seasonal depression, buddy. So what is the most interesting thing that you've heard from a tree? If you want to turn
Interesting thing I've heard from a tree.
Yeah.
I forgot what kind of tree it was. It was... The weird thing about it is that it was in a dream I had. Not a daydream, an actual dream. It was... It was about a war of some kind. I don't remember what exactly, but it found it amusing.
Okay.
That's what I remember.
I mean... In sci-fi, we've been going over a lot of apocalyptic stuff and basically how, like, nature wouldn't care if, like, humans start killing each other because it'd just be, like, unaffected. It'll still keep going on.
Pretty much.
So now I'm just curious about, like, I guess your beliefs on the world, like, philosophy of life. Like, do you believe there is a God?
I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me if there was a god. How exactly it would be, or like if there'd be more than one, I do not know.
So you believe in the possibility of a god?
I believe in the possibility of a god, yes.
So, like, you just kind of, you believe in the possibility of anything existing, essentially, since that's what you said about vampires.
Yeah.
I mean, open mind. Well, I guess that about wraps up with our interview with Willow. Hopefully the wind blowing into the mic doesn't affect it that much. I don't know. But, yeah, any closing thoughts?